last night we got Plug Power reporting, and it's just spectacular. Their revenue was in line, but they missed on EPS with 33 cents loss versus 11, and the worst margins they've ever posted, which is saying something for Plug. The wrong kind of record. When your revenue, I guess, in line is fine, but if you're generating a massive loss to, basically they're buying hydrogen and reselling it for less than they paid for it, it kind of tests the definition of revenue. Like, what does that mean? To basically be a loss-making reseller funded by your shareholders. It's similar to what they did with warrants with Amazon and Walmart. They were name dropping, but if you give customers warrants that are worth more than the products they're buying from you, what does that mean? Like, that's not really revenue. That's kind of a charity exercise. They go through some detail on their longer term green hydrogen plans. And when you do out the math of what they would actually sell that hydrogen for, it's like hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue at kind of a dubious margin. Not a very good margin, even on their what's supposed to be good margin. It doesn't match up at all against their 11 billion, enterprise value. So, like, the premise of doing that is stupid. There are already people who sell hydrogen very effectively. There's no market for what they're promising in any scale that matters, which is why when they announce projects, they tend to be unbelievably subscale. And also, it doesn't work out to justify their stock promotion, right? Two funny things from the call. The CEO referenced he was going to explain, like, somebody was a good manufacturer, and he's like, and I know a good manufacturer. I worked at, Lucent, which I don't think was the flex that he wanted it to be, right? Lucent later gets charged with fraud and was a terrible stock, obviously. You can Google that. I mean, it does come out of Bell Labs. I get that, but the part he was there for prior to Plug was not an exercise in glory. He also made this very specific claim that he had seen the State of the Union address draft, and it contained new climate change funding, basically for projects, implies that it's for projects related to Plug, which is interestingly something that was not in the State of the Union. So, either he was misled by the Biden administration or he was just making that crap up. I'm in the latter category, having spent some time looking at the stock. I think it's a pretty unbelievable, how many companies can print negative revenue by basically mismarking warrants. I mean, it's an amazing, if you haven't spent time looking at it, it just, none of it makes any sense. What they're promising is stupid. They don't give you any of the technical information you'd really need to evaluate what they're theoretically doing. And that's probably because it's, it is exactly what it looks like. So that remains I know it's gotten a bit of a bid back here with the rally in garbage stocks in response to falling rate increase expectations and whatnot, but I love the short side in this name. As I think about it, there's good reason why people don't do business with hucksters and fraudsters, because they screw you in the end, right? Sure. Power has generated a profit in 20-something years of operating. They've sold more stock than they have generated in revenue, which is a remarkable metric. It doesn't even make any sense to me.
Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more great investing content.